Brown is a framework. Brown stands for you have a big vision, you remove the trauma, the financial trauma that it triggers, you own your voice, you ask the right questions, and you normalize success. So what is the big vision? What is your vision with money?
So, to be honest, I don't know how to answer this.
You see? And it takes deep layers. So for everybody listening, that's where you need to start. What is my vision with money? And it's not one answer, it's many answers. What is my vision with money? How I want money to serve me.
This vision of wellness and design. When you're surrounded by beauty, wealth is automatic. So everyone would know what space whispering is or what Rainy is.
Everybody in the world, from República Dominicana to New York, Amsterdam, Japan. Now, I want you to imagine that level of people for you.
Wow, that is so hard to picture it. It's very hard.
Why do you say it's hard?
This is the Space Whispering Podcast with Rainy, where we explore and design containers that whisper, you belong here exactly as you are. We are building a community of soulful whisperers and creators. Join us by subscribing, leaving a review, and following on Instagram at Rainy_. If you're ready to transform your space into something authentically you, and if this episode inspired you, imagine the worlds we can create together. Book a discovery session at rainy.co. Download the freebie. Whispers, keep creating spaces that feed your soul, and let's whisper together. Besitos.
Today on the podcast, we had Alejandra, and she talks about financial independence for brown women. And one of the things she talks about is about the trauma we hold, generational trauma, that doesn't allow us to overcome that. That even if we have the streamline to receive the money, or even if we have it, there's shame that just suddenly overfills us. And we start seeing layers of traumas, and we start limiting ourselves and almost sabotaging our wealth, and so our abundance. And so please go follow her on her newsletter. Go follow her on all social media where you can find her. It's going to be on the show notes. But really email me or her and let us know how you felt during the episode. Besitos. Talk soon. Hola, beautiful Alejandra. How are you?
Hello. How are we doing?
Great. I'm happy you're here and that we're together.
Thank you for having me. It has been a long time coming, and there we are.
But a lot has happened since we talked first.
Yes. It has been 2 months, 3 months now? I don't even know. But
Exactly.
yes, a lot has happened.
So how are you feeling?
It's like you work so hard for something, and then when it's finally here, it's here, and then the ball starts rolling, and now, whoa, almost December. So it's really very good. This is what we have been working the whole year for. We put the seeds end of 2024 for what we wanted to do. We started putting the effort in 2025. Now, late September, October, November, it's like you see the blooming. I'm against the seasonal thing. We are in fall, but for us, for the business, it's in blooming season now, and it feels amazing, but it's also exhausting because now you are seeing the end line. I'm like, whoa, that was a huge marathon.
So what's the business? What was your intention and what happened during that
Absolutely.
time?
So I am the founder of a financial education platform and media platform called the Brown Way to Money. And we are focused on serving women of color entrepreneurs so that they can build profitable businesses and we can shape a different way that women of color are relating to money, showing up to money, and reaching financial independence. And as part of that, we do a lot of things. We do the amplification for different voices. That was the event that you participated in, how other women of color are doing it. We do courses with the Brown Way to Money Academy that only opens once per year. We do workshops. Now I'm starting to do in-person events. There is a sort of things that we do, but all comes back to I want for women of color, for Latinas, for Black, for brown women that are building businesses, that we start looking at businesses as the way that we fund our financial freedom. So we relate different to money, so that we are not waiting like, well, when I have 100K, then I can start thinking how I'm going to live my financial life. We completely change that and we look at it from a financial trauma perspective. I understand how difficult money it is for women to talk about it, and not just because we are not good with money. It's because there is so much emotional baggage, generational baggage, context that financial education has missed. So that's what I do. And yeah, like the whole spectrum is based on that.
Wow. That's a big mission, but at the same time, it's like I think the world is ready and been asking for something like this. And to unpack it a little bit, I'll use myself as an example. I run my own business. It's called Rainy, and it's a interior design architecture firm, but with a different mission, which is design and wellness, which I call soulful tools, like the tools we use to keep ourselves sane, and also like the spaces are a reflection of us without even realizing it, right? Like if your bed is messy or your room is messy, your mind is cluttered and messy,
Right. Yeah.
and so having those kind of feedback, in our surroundings, and it's so simple, but it has a huge impact on our health. And so that just happened naturally with my clients. And I wonder, I'm guessing for you it's something very similar, that you were seeing that maybe in your own life and then in the people around you.
Listen, so I'm a finance girl through and through. I've been in finance. My parents are finance. They're accountants. Both of they're accountants. They raised me to, talking about money, understanding money, but very polished, right? So, like the tools, the financial education. And I went to school knowing about bookkeeping, being very good at that. I went to university, had my finance degree, did all of the steps, and I truly like this world, understanding people through money. I truly love it. Like it's a completely different vision. But then through my own story, I went into burnout because I didn't understand what our relationship to money was, what my relationship to success and money was. I didn't understand the emotional, the financial trauma, what that trigger that earning a lot of income can get, the guilt, the shame, the societal, the beliefs. As a Latina, is until you hit a certain kind of level, you don't trigger many of the cultural things that we run through as a Latinas. And I was talking just with Hadi Mendez, in LinkedIn just now. She's the author a new book that is called Calladita No More, and she goes through different beliefs that Latinas we have. And I was telling to Hadi, you know how this really relates to money? And you just say it, right? Because it's a saying that we say, like, oh, calladita te ves más bonita, or you know what, pay attention to that, be grateful for that. And all of these sayings, they have kind of like shape our culture, our cultural understanding of money in a way that doesn't serve the level that I want to relate to money and the level I want other women of color relating to money. It serves what it used to serve back then, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, when people wanted to control the mind of the people who couldn't get into the power rooms. It worked back then. But now, how is it working? So I got very interested on understanding that relating to that and changing the script, because I'm very tired of seeing that the financial education goes as beyond as, learn these tools. These are the tools that you have to learn, and just go and do that for a couple of years and you're gonna be fine. Yes, you gotta learn some tools, but how can you learn the tools if the fundamental things are not there? Like the way I see financial education for women of color to understand money and relate money so that they can use the tools is like, if you go to a carpenter and the carpenter had a very bad, childhood with hammers, what happened with the carpenter when he was growing up is that he will see that the hammer will hit the nail and the mom will cry all the time because the hammer was hitting the nail all the time. He may have become a carpenter, but first he had to get over the fear of taking a hammer. And that's what we are missing with money. How come that you as a society are telling me that I need to learn how to use the tools that you're giving me, but we are not overcoming the fear, the anxiety, the stress, the things that have shaped how we behave with money? So I saw that, and I saw it with my own experience. I saw it with somebody that really loves finances and money, that it didn't want it to shy away. And I took it, turned it around, started to, spread the message. And here we are with this whole platform, one day at a time, trying to get women to relate different to money. Not just because we want to be rich. Yes, we want to be rich. Yes, we want to be wealthy. Yes, I want my kids to have generational wealth. But what I really, really want is that they know and understand that that is their destiny, that's their fact, that they can make 1 million or 20,000 million if that's what they want. That's what I'm more interested in, something that we have not been able to kind of like capture so far.
And where do I start? Where do you start?
So, talking about you as a business, right? Let's take your example. Where I want to start, and this is the whole Brown framework. So, Brown Way to Money. Brown is a framework, right? Brown stands for you have a big vision, you remove the trauma, the financial trauma that it triggers, you own your voice, you ask the right questions, you will the right questions, and you normalize success. So I'm going to walk you through the practical steps. Big vision. Why this is important and why nothing else matters if you don't have this big vision is because ambition is a bad thing for us. And that is what triggers all the domino effect. So when somebody comes to me and tell me, wait, Ale, I just want to have more money. What does it mean? I want my business to be successful. What that means? Oh no, I want to be the next unicorn. That is nothing. That means absolutely blood to any kind of language, especially to the mind language. I am huge in talking neuroscience, talking the way that the brain likes to hear it, because I focus on removing financial trauma. So you cannot focus on removing financial trauma talking blah blah to the brain. So the first thing that I would say is, what is your big vision? Why do you want to make this business? Yes, you want to. So let me ask you that question. What is your vision at this moment?
What is my vision at this moment? So my vision for the business or my with money?
With money.
With money. Okay. So what I realize, so I'll go to the personal side, which what I realize is like money intensifies who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's an expression of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I am passionate of supporting small businesses that do quality work, whether it's clothing, whether it's whatever it is, I can invest in that. So I see it almost as an investment. And I don't have to go to big department stores just because of my belief of supporting smaller businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't have the money, for example, then that part of me kind of like dim downs a little bit, right? Of course, without the money, I found other ways through friends, like, oh, let's go shopping, and not vintage shopping, but Paca. We
Mm-hmm.
call it Paca in Santo
Yeah.
Domingo. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Dominican Republic. And so, yeah, like things like that, like, or I would live where I want to live, like these little things. But also, where I have like an issue is like, it's almost like I have the money, leave me alone.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I feel like I can do whatever I want, you know?
Okay. So, and I'm not cutting you, like I'm cutting you intentionally because I
I
need to stop your brain. This is what we do, right? So,
Beautiful.
what is the big vision? What is your vision with money?
What is my vision with money? Okay. So, to be honest, I don't know how to answer this.
You see?
Yeah.
And it takes deep layers. So, for everybody listening and for you as well, that's where you need to start. What is my vision with money? And it's not one answer, it's many answers. What is my vision with money? How I want money to serve me. Know how I want my money to serve me. And, I want money to buy a nice house, but not too fancy so people think I have a lot of money. I want the pure answer. What is your vision with money?
Some things comes up like, I want to spread the word more, like of this vision of wellness and design, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like when you're surrounded by beauty, wealth is automatic. Like I want to intensify that because I've lived that.
Right.
So yeah, that's one of my visions.
So now kind of like put flowers to that vision. I want specifics. And those specifics, because it's big vision, it's not just vision, it's big vision, you're gonna 10x that.
I close my eyes and I see myself like speaking to big crowds, like
Mm,
going places, like just spreading the love that it's also not empty beauty, but it's beauty with intention.
mm-hmm.
Like it's adapted to who you are and what you want to become. Like it's not imitating the other, but very, very authentic to you.
How
That's
does it feel for you? Does it feel reachable or does it feel dream state?
feels reachable right now. I don't know if you're having an impact in me because I feel you. Like there's this
Now,
passion from you. And yeah.
now 10x that. Make it so big.
So I am known for this. Like I use the word space whispering, which is like so everyone would know what space whispering is or what
Right,
rainy is. Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
now everybody in the world, from República Dominicana to New York, Amsterdam, Japan, heck, what is it? Marie Kondo? Marie Kondo has a bestseller, has been in a bestseller for more than a year list, right? That means that people are buying her book 2,500 books per week consistently. That's 2,500 people that knows about her every single week. New people. Now, I want you to imagine that level of people for you.
Wow, that is so hard to
Right.
picture it. It's very hard. Yes.
Why do you say it's hard?
Wow, when you said Japan, when you said Amsterdam, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. When you said Japan, I felt it was so far away. Like, yeah, and my brain hasn't even, yeah, computed.
Right. So that's the first step, because we have been conditioned to imagine what we can perceive. If we want to change our financial future with money, with a business, I'm talking specifically as a business owner, we gotta get rid of the cap that subconsciously we have been put for years. And the only way that we have to do that is to do this. And then if tomorrow Japan feels comfortable, then you're gonna go all the way to New Zealand. That
Beautiful.
is the way that you expand it. And that is gonna trigger some things, because dreaming stage is nice. And what we have done here is a lot, girl. It's a lot, right? But once that is done, once I have created the domino effect, what I do is we have to work on the financial trauma, because the talking, the vision, that sounds nice, but I want it to land. And if I want that to land, I'm going to take paper. How are we going to make this happen? You got to reach out to 10 people on these stages every single day. Ale, they don't answer. They rejected me. A lot of triggers will come up. And that's the heavy work. That's why in the Brown framework, the R is removing the trauma, the financial trauma. The shame of asking your prices. How many of us have this big vision and then keep doing work for free or for $47? So, right? So, why? The answer is not logical. The answer is the emotional trigger. I don't want to be rejected. I want to have proof of concept. But let me tell you something. Proof of concept of a 47 offer is proof of concept of a $47 offer. It's not proof of concept of the big vision and the big stage. So unless you have a strategy for that overpricing, what we are seeing, underpricing, what we are seeing is financial trauma response. Is hiding behind the money. And we want to remove that. So then after we do the beautiful work, and I get you motivated and I get you visualizing and I get you to go through those layers, we remove that. And the way that I do that is to different techniques. RRT is my specific, is rapid resolution therapy, where I get to understand where your mind created that blip, the piece of blip, reading the information of, I should only charge low, because if I charge more than 1,000, people will, destroy me, will see me, will do whatever. And then when we have done that, you own your voice. Honestly, the 3 first steps of the Brown framework are the most powerful. And you have seen me doing it. Like, I literally will this shit. Like, I literally do it because it's big vision, remove the financial trauma, own your voice. I've been everywhere this year. TikTok, Forbes, writing here, writing there, podcast, because I need to own my voice. Once you remove the trauma and you understand that the only way for a business to grow is to grow with your business, you understand that your voice is important. And what you said, you see yourself in stages. How are you gonna get there? if you are not on your message. And again, it's part of that conditioning that calladita te ves más bonita. I don't care if I look pretty or not. I care that I'm making the movement that I want to create. And for that, you're going to hear my message, because my message is my business. The more people hear your message, the bigger the income streams get. Because you have, and this is the way I see it personally, you have different ways for people to land in your message. People that are doing business with you is because they resonate at some level with what your business stands for. And that is your message. So in my business, I stand for women of color relating different with money in a more positively way so that they can reach financial independence. That is what I stand for, and I believe to the core that we can do that. People that comes and work and interacts with my platform can interact with the podcast. So that's owning my voice with the podcast. Can interact with the platform on my LinkedIn. So that's owning my voice there, but also owning my voice in the academy. Or if I get to do a mentorship, owning my voice with the mentorship. But imagine if every time you are doubting the voice of your message, you're doubting like, maybe today is this one, maybe it's not. Maybe I should change this, maybe it's not. You do that when you don't have a big vision clear. But because we started with a big vision, then owning your voice is the third step, and you create the network that you need to create to make that happen. So I'm going to leave it onto those three because I think those are the most important. But yeah, I think I will start there.
Beautiful. Yeah, it makes sense. How do you what keeps you this motivated like every day? Because you are a mom, you know, you have so many stuff going on. You were in it, you mentioned TEDx and like networking plus the business, all these things you do. Like how do you do it?
How do I do it? I don't know. Why do I do it? My big vision. Honestly, I have a team of one person, my assistant, that helps me. I wouldn't be here if she wasn't there, because she really supports me more than support. Like spread is like, Ale, come back to it. So I really need that support. I have an incredible partner that takes care of my daughter whenever I need it. So support is important, but I don't know how we do it, but I just come back to the same vision. And every week you want to give up, because this is fighting with your brain is not easy. Fighting with the ways that things have been for the longest time is not easy. It's not easy. It's easier for me to stay at my bed and say, you know what, I'm not going to do anything today. I'm just going to take a day off, and not even like, I cannot do that anymore. It's easier for me to do that than to stand up and say, how am I going to make it work? How am I going to get to that? Who do I need to talk? You know how many podcasts, pitches, publications, pitches, TV pitch I need to send per week? And today's Friday. I have procrastinated to send those pitches this whole week. Today I sit down and say, I don't care if I don't do anything else. You gotta send these things. But why I need to put myself, like I need to have that self-awareness, is because I know what my big vision is. I honestly, and this is part of, I think, why I landed the tech talk, is because I refuse to leave this earth knowing that I had a different perspective with something that has been so painful for our culture and for, women of color, for Black people, for brown people. I refuse to leave this world and see my daughter having to struggle with it. So I know that she's probably not gonna listen to me because who listens to the mom? But the people that gets to do things today are going to somehow impact her at some point. The way I relate to my community and my people is going to impact her. So in the most selfish way, I'm always thinking about her. And in the most community base of the business that we have built, I'm thinking about the daughters and the families of my people in my community. I'm like, I gotta do it. Like, who, if not me? Like, who is gonna fight this hard to be on the stages, to be creating this narrative if I don't do it? Nobody gives more than I do. And that's something that I can, kind of like have for sure. I cannot control many things on this business. The thing that I can control is that nobody fights harder for my vision than myself. And I think that's what really motivates me to keep going.
So beautiful. Thank you. And like, do you have like some words that you use to get you back to that big vision of yours every day or once a week at least?
I have my big vision, very big, on my room. I have my big vision in my room. I have it on my desk. And then, you know what? LinkedIn has become that place where I have to think about my big vision every time. And not Instagram so much, because now with the scrolling the whole time, the platform is creating for me a kind of like more like I want to be away from it. With LinkedIn, I feel like I can sit down to write, and that really helps me to understand if that is my big vision. And today, the different partners that I need to make this big vision happen are reading this post. What do I want to say? So yes, I have it like in different places, but that's how I kind of like touch base with it.
To end, we have to end, but what is your big vision?
My big vision is that I am a published author. I'm working on it. By the way, if you listen to this podcast and you want to contribute to that, you can go to the Brown Way to Money newsletter and subscribe. The more subscribers we have, the faster this book deal will come. So I appreciate, just roll the voice. But my big vision is to be the person to talk about relating different to money as a Black person, as a Latina, and as a woman. And that comes in different forms. That comes in a book, that comes in a movie, that comes in stages, and that also comes in children books. So we are making the way there.
Where can people find you, or where's your favorite place for people to find you?
Come find my podcast first and foremost. Listen to me. I think that's my podcast is my secret place. I think I'm sure that it's for you as well, because you're talking and kind of like you become you there. But if you want to see what is happening behind the scenes, just go to LinkedIn. I share a lot there, and make sure to subscribe to the newsletter, and I'm going to send you all the links if I have not done it. So you can find that on the show notes, and my LinkedIn is Alejandra Rojas.
Thank you so much for your time. So
Absolutely.
precious, so precious. Besitos.
Well, thank you.
Space Whispers. Thank you for spending time with me today, your host, Rainy, on the Space Whispering podcast. I hope today's episode gave you something to reflect on, inspire you, or energize you to create something beautiful. Help us grow the soulful community and spread the love by subscribing to the podcast, leaving a review,
review or sharing this episode with your community. If you're feeling called to transform your inner or outer spaces into a true reflection of you, let's connect. Schedule a discovery session with me at rainy.co or Instagram rainy_. What soulful actions will you take today? Keep listening to the whispers of creation and let your soul's magic flow into the world. See you soon. Besitos.